Race reviews are back, and that means my pale-looking, terrible lighting, color-changing face with the... This is going to be really stupid. I really should upgrade my equipment eventually. But anyways, it is all back, and what a race to get back to, and with all the memes and stuff that is going around with 2019 and the NASCAR season. If you did not watch the Clash race, which, you know, maybe some people really don't. I think a lot of people actually don't watch the Clash. I think it was maybe better as a night race. I don't know. Night races feel cool to me, so I don't know. By exhibition night races, I don't know. But if you didn't watch it, you didn't really miss much. I'll explain everything in the race in about 30 seconds. Basically, the leader made a train, which is Paul Menard most of the race. Penske cars got behind him. They trained. Again, more training. One car would pull out, wouldn't be able to do anything. More training, a couple of rain delays, and then one move to make a pass for the lead by Jimmie Johnson. Ends up taking out the entire field, and then it rains really hard and the race ends. So yeah, that's what you missed. I could end the video there, but I'm not gonna do that. So basically, yeah, it was not, you didn't really miss much. The race was not very good, and the ending was hilarious. It was really, really funny. I don't know if this is what the 500 is gonna be like. There's a few photos floating around out there. I know Jarrett shared something, or I saw it from Jarrett at least in one of our little group messaging pages, that like the rear end of the cars are so much lower than they were a few years ago, and maybe that's why the plate package has changed over the years. I don't know. A few years ago, in my opinion, I thought the plate package was really good. I don't know the exact year I'm talking about. I'm thinking maybe 2017. I want to say it was. It was when these guys were getting these massive runs. It seemed like NASCAR solved the little bubble issue where the leader had a bubble and you really couldn't really get to him. But even that style of racing was better than what we have now, where the leader would block both lanes and both lanes would come kind of equally, and then, you know, that bubble would keep the leader up there. But there was like one or two races where the leader didn't have that bubble, and there was massive runs, but these races were also massive wreck fest with the 500 and Talladega and all that stuff. Massive wreck fest because everyone was getting runs, and the runs were just so big. The difference in speed was so large that it made for massive wrecks. So something changed now where, I don't know, it seems so easy to take for the leader to go up to the top. Now this is again in a Clash race that we saw with 20 cars. With 40 it may be a little bit different, but even with 40, let's say, like, let's take about 8 of those out because they'll probably be pretty slow. So like 32 competitive cars. You're still, if there's a Penske gang or SHR gang or some sort of people working together up towards the front, and the front 3 to 4 positions are locked up on the top of the train, then everyone else is going to follow, and it just becomes a terrible thing to watch. You don't want to watch it. So it's definitely something that has to be fixed. Not very good, but talking about the Clash, let's look at the incident. So the incident, Jimmie Johnson saw that rain was coming, or was told that rain was coming, and he knew he had to make a move. And he had one run down the back straightaway to make a move. He pulls out to side draft Menard, does it a little bit too hard. Menard and him make contact, and then Menard loses control, slides up into the wall, and collects literally everyone behind him, and only about 4 or 5 cars carry through. It would have been interesting to see what the finish would have been like if they were able to actually finish the race with only 4 to 5 cars. But the race doesn't finish because of the rain. But the wreck, if you look at it again closely, Johnson, too close. He was a little bit too close to Menard. Does that suck Menard down, or does Menard move down a little bit? We're talking about a matter of inches. The point here is that Jimmie Johnson was side drafting very, very aggressively, almost too aggressively at that point. You don't have to be that close to get the lead at that point. He should have been able just to cut down and then make that little shortcut down to the yellow line and slide back up, and he would have been fine. But he was being very, very aggressive, and that's what caused the wreck. So I would say Jimmie Johnson's probably the one to blame for that, but he doesn't really care because he won the race since the race ended right after that. And it's a racing deal. It's part of why these guys don't want to make the moves. I was very frustrated in the first 5 laps when they already went to the train. I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? You have to learn something for the 500. But then realization sets in that when they try making a move, or when they try doing something, they legitimately can't. They lose control. There was a point in the race where Logano, Blaney, Keselowski were all in the bottom lane, and they were trying on the bottom lane with like Larson and Hamlin behind them. So 5 solid cars to move up, and they'd side draft incredibly hard. And you would just see the cars be so unstable, insanely unstable, especially through the tri-oval. And I think it's just a part of it is that when you're on the top lane and you have that little air cushion on the wall, it's able to, I guess, stabilize the car a little bit. And that's why those guys are able to stay up there. And when you're on the bottom trying to side draft, your car is incredibly unstable. And the cars just move around a lot. The tracks like Talladega and Daytona are wearing out a little bit more, which means tires wear out a little bit more, and handling becomes a little bit more prominent. When handling becomes more prominent in a plate race, things get more single file or more spread out. That's just how it goes, because you have to. You sometimes just you can't make a move. So I think that's what's happening, and that's what Gen 6 has morphed into. I think this is what the Daytona 500 is going to look like. Because if what I saw today is what's going to happen in the 500, it's mainly because handling will be a massive factor, and whoever's really good with the good handling of a car should be able to control the race, and that might make it single file. That is not what I want to see, something I'm not excited to see, but I think it might happen, and I don't know what NASCAR can do about it, because it's just the way the Gen 6 has morphed. I think with the no ride height rules and everything changing, and I think it just makes these cars really unstable when anything is around them, like, or when air is manipulated around them, or people, like, it's really unstable, and these guys can't really race, and it sucks because the show was not good. I mean, what we saw today was a single file train for an hour and a half of, well, you know, there was rain delays in there, but, like, you know, real life time, just a single file train and then a wreck. And that's not what this should be. There should be some good pack racing. And I'm kind of worried for the 500 because I don't know what we're going to see there, but hopefully maybe they could race side by side in the 500, and maybe the top lane and the train won't get going. Maybe the cars will be a little bit more stable. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm not really sure. So it should be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting 500. Jimmy Johnson wins the Clash, his first win in God knows how long. And even though it doesn't count as like a regular season win, at least he still won something. Maybe they'll carry the momentum for the rest of the season. But yeah, that's it for the Clash. Again, not really a race you should want to watch if you didn't see it. It's just one big wreck that happened, and that was really the end of it. And kind of some worrisome factors for the Daytona 500. So again, hopefully that doesn't happen. Comment down below what you thought of the race. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. William Byron did qualify on the pole for the Daytona 500. Him and Alex Bowman are in the front row, which means they can chill for the dual races. To be honest, after what I saw in this Clash, I don't know if I was them, if I'd want to race up front, mainly because now if the duel ends up being a train as well, you kind of know what's going to happen. Just save your primary car. Try to control the Daytona 500 from the front when it starts. So that's going to be very interesting. I'll see you guys later. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. Twitter was hilarious today, by the way. If you guys do follow me on Twitter, I haven't been tweeting a lot at all for the last few months, but I kind of got back into it today, and it was really funny. It was actually really cool, like, interacting with you guys and just making jokes about the race. It was hilarious. I found it to be a lot of fun. So it was nice to be back on Twitter after a little bit. And yeah, I think that is all I have to say. So again, comment down below what you thought of the race, what you thought of the package. I was not a big fan of what I saw. I'm hoping it's different. But then again, also, I don't think there's anything you could do about it if they do end up doing a train race in the Daytona 500. I don't know what NASCAR can do. I really don't until the new Gen 7 car or whatever. I don't know what they could do. So it's gonna be very difficult. I'll see you guys later. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Gatorade duels. No, they're not called Gatorade duels. They're called something duels. Thursday night, and then the Daytona 500 next Sunday. I will be at Daytona in the infield or in the pre-race concert area. So if you guys see me, say hi. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, my love, she keeps me warm.